Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this weekly recap of Twitter with Star Atlas. My name's Steve Woody and we're going to go through everything that's happened this week online. It's been quite a busy week. We've had Sage Labs drop on the 21st, and that was the start of this on the 18th that we saw here on 18th of September, where Star Atlas posted and said, we're updating our ships with ship configurations, V3, and addressing the ship descriptions, not matching their configurations, components that were counterproductive to manufacturing bonuses, and prices that were not consistent with manufacturer premium and bonuses. As a result of that, Crypto posted afterwards, said we've updated Sage Labs stats to reflect these updates. Take a look. And so you can do that now. Here you'll be able to see there's now an incredible document that you can see here that tells you everything, including the cargo capacity for each ship, as well as fuel, ammo, food, and mining capacity, including scans, toolkits, respawn times, active crew for crafting, and anything else that you might need to know. So very, very helpful for labs. All right, so then coming back here and moving on, we can see here that there are 3 new ships that are going to be obtainable in Sage Labs. The Thimble Mumba X, the Thimble BYOS Butch, and the Calico Max Hog. Important notes on availability of these ships. The Thimble Mamba X and the Calico Max Hog will never be sold by the team. And the BYOS Butch has limited Sage Lab supply and will be sold by the team in the future. So something to bear in mind there. So definitely some incredible new ships there that are exciting for people to be able to get hold of. All right, let's continue. So on the 19th, it said, on September 20th, we're launching a massive overhaul to our referral system, StarPath. New benefits are going to include the fact that you'll receive up to 25% of the amount that the referrers spend on ships that are sold by us. Referees receive 10% off ships that are sold by us, and more. So let's just talk about this in a bit more detail. You'll receive up to 25% of the amount referees spend on ships that are sold by us. Big incentive there. Also shows you the markup that they put onto these ships in the first place if they're able to then give 20% as a referral bonus. So something to bear in mind there with that. But also, if you happen to find a whale that wants to jump into this game and you refer them, it's a nice little way for you to earn some additional funds throughout that. And there's a detail there on the Medium site. All right, so then we have on the 19th, $1.2 million in Star Atlas loot is coming to Sage Labs through the use of the golden ticket. Crafting golden tickets, submitting them into the game drawings, and having a chance to win loot. So you have to craft them first, then submit them, and then you'll have a chance to win loot. These tickets will be craftable starting on September the 21st, and then drawings will start in a few weeks. So we know we have about 4 weeks after the start, which was on the 21st. But also something to bear in mind here that the $1.2 million, which is obviously a huge number, when you look at $1 million in loot, you think, wow, this is all like recommended retail price of the ships, which, as we all know right now, they're down quite considerable from that. So whilst the recommended retail price of this boosts up that number to 1.2 million, actual value today of those assets is probably about 60 to 70, maybe even 80% lower than that. So, but you're still looking at a substantial number. Even if you said it was $200,000-$300,000 worth of loot, it's still incredible. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as 1.2 million, obviously, but there's also a lot of Atlas in there, a lot of other things, and we'll talk about that where we find that. We'll go through that in a moment. So, paying Solana transaction fees in Atlas. This is another thing that was introduced, Atlas Prime. So Atlas Prime is the new solution that reduces friction and increases game adoption by enabling users to pay their Solana transactions fees directly in Atlas. Just bear in mind that if you do this, there is a 15% convenience fee that you end up paying as a result of that. And what a lot of people have done is turn this off at the moment because they've realized it's actually a lot cheaper to just pay in Sol. But if you don't want to have Sol and Atlas in your wallet and you want to keep things simple, then just using Atlas, you have that ability and you can do that from within Sage Labs using the COGS setting. All right, so then 21st, here we are. StarPath is live. receiving 25% of the amount referees spend on primary sales, receiving 25% of our share of the fee during secondary sales, referees receiving 10% primary sales for 90 days and more. So you can create a referral link now from play.startatlas.com. Just go into your profile and you'll be able to do that. And that lines up with this, which was a post here that went out, and it said Sage Labs is releasing later today. What is Sage Labs? Why so exciting? How do you play? Let's get into the questions. Talks about the golden tickets and how you can play that. And there's a great video by Dominic Vane there. It's about 5 minutes long that shows you the introduction. I've also done a video like that myself on YouTube. You can view that as well. And there's a lot of other people that have started to cover that. Joseph here says, are you ready for the Sage Labs? A lot of people have been sharing and posting. Star Atlas has reposted this. But people sharing their setups and what they're doing and how they're preparing. And there's been some quite funny pictures that have been posted. But yeah, a few people here been reposted with their setups and things like that. Another one here by Frank, as we can see. Awesome to see people's setups. The best one, I think, was the one that was absolutely covered in empty cans, cigarette butts, and the superimposed image. If you haven't seen that one yet, it was quite funny. All right, so here we go. It's time to launch your fleet and set a course for deep space. So Labs is live. This is the 22nd. And then Phantom, talking about the Mexico recently unboxing the 2 aliens. If you haven't seen that in the news recently, they then went on to talk about, rather than sit and wait for them to come to us, let's prepare now. And it talks about Star Atlas. So nice little shout out by Phantom Wallet there. And Star Atlas obviously reposted that. Coming up then, and talking about if you need a co-pilot in Sage Labs, in case you missed it, here's the walkthrough again from Dominic. They posted that again. And then it talks about Sage Labs has been live for less than 20 hours, and already we're witnessing incredible surges in fleet venturing into deep space. So we had escape velocity, which is the first stress test that we saw. This is a second opportunity now we've had to see a stress test on the Solana network. 2,900 profiles created in the first 24 hours. Nearly 300,000 Solana transactions, and almost 5,000 fleets created. So good initial testing there that we've seen from the community. This one talks about why Buzzek9101 thinks Sage Labs is an evolution in blockchain gaming. We're not going to go into this, but there is an article there. What are you most interested in redeeming in your resources in Sage Labs? Well, we'll talk about that in a moment of what's there and what options there are. There also was a showcase recently. They released 4 raw gameplay videos that you can experience in a new Showroom Art 2.1 release. And they talked about that. And that's actually pinned as well from August the 22nd. So everything there that's going on inside the Star Atlas Twitter itself. Now let's go across and look at what some of the community have been posting just to round up this recap. So the first one is the Hologram News Network. Kriggs has been posting over there. Fantastic update here, which I found really beneficial, and that is this map. And it kind of is a way for you to see all of the resources that are available, including the richness level and what is available in every location, split into factions. A really, really good guide there if you need that, to be able to see where you should really be spending your time and your energy. So a great post there. Thank you very much for Hologram News Network for posting that. Signal posted, there's something out there, stay out of MRZ28. Nobody actually knows if there's anything real about that, because the first rule of MRZ28 is apparently not to talk about MRZ28. So interesting to know if you've been there. Have you been there? If you've been there, is there anything there? Maybe there's not. Maybe you can't talk about it. That's absolutely fine. Siggy then posted this interesting video. So this is some footage of Unreal Engine, and basically what Siggy was saying here is, what would a distant world look like inside Star Atlas? Imagine traveling from your space station, touching down on a planet, and it looks something like this. Pretty incredible, right? And whilst this isn't anything from Star Atlas, it is just a demo from Unreal Engine 5. It does get you excited about that possibility of what could come as a result. You know, if you've gone from your 2D version, your kind of overlooking version of Sage Labs, and you go down into Unreal Engine 5, you jump into your NFT, you fly across the universe, you jump into a planet, and then it kind of looks like this. And I think this is what we're really talking about here, and this is what I said is, what we're all hoping for is the connection from the blockchain and that working seamlessly into Unreal Engine to present all of our digital assets in a realistic form. And I think this is as realistic as it gets, and I'm definitely excited for that, and I'm sure many of you are too. All right, so then moving on to Club Andre has said some quick tips for Sage Labs that he's learnt so far. Wallet to game assets only on CSS. So you need to go to your central space station to import or export your anything from your wallet. If you're in any other location other than your central space station, even though the buttons are there and it looks like you can click on them, you will not see a transaction. It will not allow you to import or export. So good one to learn there. Never forget to add food before undocking. We've all done it. If you haven't, you will. But a great tip there. A fleeted crew cannot craft. I was a little bit sad by that, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. But you have to disband your fleet. There is a charge for that. You actually end up paying the validators every time you disband a fleet. So bear in mind that when you craft a fleet and disband a fleet, there's actually you'll be paying a charge as a result of that. So just bear that in mind if you're flicking between the two. Sometimes docking outside of a CSS can bug when coming back from a long trip. Sometimes you can solve it by subwarping to the next plot and going back. I've had to do this myself, it's true. Hopefully they'll fix that. If you plan to farm outside of your CSS, send extra fuel, food on the cargo bay and unload it at the next base. Should be obvious, but not to everyone. This is a great tip so you don't get caught short. Some transaction fees may seem expensive in Atlas, but you're getting Sol back. So one of the things with the Sol network is you actually rent space on the network, and you'll find that sometimes that when you pay for something, like when you form a fleet, when you disband that fleet, you'll actually get some of that back as Sol. So just bear that in mind. It's a renting system on the Sol network. And then some bugs with station pictures not loading. Normally a hard refresh will solve that. So some good things there, and also in the community, people talking about it. So some really good lessons and things that people have been learning as a result. So awesome there. The resources tab, obviously inside play.startatlas, got a massive upgrade. And so we can see that now with all of these. And yes, some bots already bidding and some are misclick buying. So just bear that in mind. All right, moving over, we can see Leaks has talked about 1/3 of unique wallets created in the first 20 hours. 2,900. So far, able to see between 130 and 170 concurrent sessions throughout the day for Star Atlas Sage Labs. The peak is when US and EU time zones meet. So some interesting things there with EV. The peak at release was around 350. Cannot analyze the data. The team, of course, be interesting to see when that is released. It's not clear if you must connect through Starcom either, since the game is on chain. So people can connect directly on chain. There is a way to monitor active players without running my own index server. So yeah, definitely be having some interesting news as a result of that. So moving on now, Siggy's also said the loot table for Draw 1 has been leaked. 300k prize pool is up for grabs with week 1 of the golden ticket draw, instead of a regular loot pool of 150k per week, with an approximate 4-week lead time until the first draw. So this is like the 1.2 million in guaranteed. So golden tickets craftable items inside Sage Labs that allow players to submit them into a drawing event that is happening in a few weeks. In this event, there's a 1.2 million guaranteed Star Atlas loot, which is, again, if you're looking at the recommended retail price of those items. But let's have a quick look, shall we? So far, 25 Fimble air bikes, 50 Fimble Ecos Unibombers, 10 Fimble Lobies, 10 of each of the base tier CSS. Also going to see here a Mick. We're going to see 5 Armstrong Imp Tips. Also, we're going to see 5 bundles of Atlas, 1 million Atlas, 5 million Atlas going out there. 3 of each of the factions CSS tier 1s. There's going to be 2 Fimble Mambas, ATS Enforcer, a Calico, and also there's going to be 2 bundles of 5.6 million, so well over 10 million Atlas going out there. Also, there's going to be a Sunpar, one of those going out. A Visus Ballad is going out as well, and 2 Fimble BYOS tank ships. Aggregates a total of $300,000 as a result of that. So just bear that in mind. A lot of stuff going out in that first week. So if we look at the value of everything, what it actually works out as, and we look at the kind of 4 weeks that we're going to have loading up to that, Looks like we're going to get a total of 1.2 million in guaranteed Star Atlas loot as a result of this. So exciting to see what's going to go out, how long it's going to last for, and any more information. And then finally, just going to end here on PG Metaverse, the OG. Just to give you an idea, 24 hours in the dark of space and the rewards of a hard day's work. So yeah, just having a look already at some of the loot coming in, we can see copper ore here, 2.5 million, carbon, 8 million, hydrogen, 8 million. So some of the players out there doing some incredible grinding at the moment for these resources. And we're starting to see that come in now with some of the players, with some of these bigger fleets and what they're doing. So yeah, very, very interesting to see how Sage Labs is holding up. I've also started a series, a Zero to Hero. I took $20, put it into an account, bought a couple of air bikes, and I'm grinding that account to see what's possible. And I've also got my main account, which I'm playing as well, and thoroughly enjoying it so far. Hopefully you are too. But please join us again next week. We'll do another recap on Twitter to see what's been happening across Star Atlas. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.